What's up? Welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Tate McRae's third album, So Close to What. Little over a year and change since her last record, which saw Tate find massive success with the song Greedy, top 3 on the Billboard chart, now over 1.6 billion streams on Spotify. Tate McRae has become a significant artist after being a talent show winner, signed to RCA at a young age, and taking a long time to actually debut with that first album. And now I think we're to the point where is Tate McRae going to ascend into that upper tier of pop stars, or is she still a peg or two down? Clearly, the star is on the rise. She's on her biggest tour yet, doing arenas for the first time in a high profile relationship with the kid Leroy. And she's also clearly getting a pretty big push from the industry, working with a lot of really talented A-list songwriters on this album, like Ryan Tedder, Amy Allen, Julia Michaels. Coming into this album, I can't say I was super excited about it because I have found Tate McRae a bit lacking to this point. Yes, she has some catchy songs, but ultimately, I have never found her music that interesting. She made a pretty stark transition between album 1 and 2, going from the more bedroom pop stuff to the bigger dance pop more angle with album 2, and that continues with this third album. I think it makes sense. She does have a really strong dance breakdown. That's probably the best aspect of her artistry, so I think it makes sense to kind of lean into that genre a bit more. But for me, Tate's often the least interesting part of her own music. The vocals are just pretty unimpressive to this point, and she's just not distinct. She's not unique. Tate McRae takes a step in the right direction with her third album, So Close to What, but I still find her vocals often lacking. The beats are often so overproduced to the point of masking her vocals, and as a result, Tate often fades into the background on her own music. That said, I do think there's some good moments on this album, but I just don't think this is the album that's going to take Tate McRae to the next level, because I don't think there's just enough here with the artistry still. However, you listen to lead single Sports Car, which has become a hit to this point. That's a song that's both a great beat and a great hook, and a good example of Tate's more understated vocals actually working really well on the song. When she's in more of that mold, I think she's pretty successful for what she's doing. However, there are just other songs where the beat is so clearly hiding her singing. Do you have to be the best singer in the world to be a top tier pop star? No, you do not, but you do have to make more interesting music than we're largely getting right now. Track 1, Miss Possessive. I think the beat actually has a pretty nice groove. I like the kick drums on it. Tate going into like a higher register chorus as a way to like not really belt out too much, I guess. Has the dance break at the end. Solid song. Track 2, Two Hands. This is an interesting one because like the beat gets bigger and more layered and starts to really hide the vocals again. Like this is just what I keep sticking to when I listen to her music, is the fact that it's like the production is clearly so layered and so involved to the point of not really letting her vocals sing. Revolving Door. I like Tate's performance on the verses. I think they're very energetic, but the song just has like no hook at all. Like intentionally doesn't have a hook. Kind of weird. Blood on My Hands. I like this one, kind of like a garage beat, very up tempo, fun collab with Flo Milli here, who fits the song well. Dear God, this is my favorite song on the album. I think it's the catchiest song here. I love these up tempo drums. The delivery switch ups that Tate does in terms of her inflection sound great. Excellent mixing overall. The beat doesn't drown her out. I like this song a lot. Then that leads into Purple Lace Bra, which I also think is pretty good. Probably the best lyrical examination she does on the album. Then you get the lead single Sports Car, which I mentioned. Talk about a strong run. That's definitely the best 3 songs on the album. I Know Love, featuring the kid Leroy, her boyfriend. Always fun when you get something like that. They've talked about wanting to collaborate for some time. They've been dating for some time at this point, so kind of a bit overdue, I guess. And honestly, they're a great match because they're similar types of singers. Kid Leroy, he definitely gets a bit more impassioned and angsty than Tate does, but they're similar types of singers. I actually think they fit together well on the song. the chorus is okay, but the refrain really works on that one. I also want to shout out No I'm Not in Love. I thought that song was just super bouncy. But yeah, Tate McRae, like, I think this is confirmation, I guess, that like this is clearly her lane. The sound of these last two albums, not really the sound of her breakout hit. You Broke Me First. She's not really doing that kind of music anymore, which is cool. I mean, she made that song when she was a teenager, so it makes sense that she would change. And she's still quite young. There's still room for improvement. I would expect better music in the future. I do think it's cool that she seems to be kind of leaning into more of the performance angle of her music because she has such a strong dance breakdown. I think that's a great choice, you know. And you think about I think about other artists, right, that are like not necessarily the best vocalists in the world. You think of someone like Charlie, right, whose stellar songwriting and inventiveness is what propels her. You know, she's someone who openly talks about the fact that she uses lots of autotune. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with not being the best vocalist, but I think hiding your vocals with the beats doesn't really do you any favors because it just highlights how uninteresting what's going on at the moment actually is. And maybe she'll get past that. We'll see. For now, though, she's clearly an artist to me that's a peg or two down. And frankly, you think about her peers, so to speak. You know, I think songwriting wise, someone like Gracie Abrams is certainly grabbing people a lot more than Tate is, you know. But maybe Tate's kind of lean to the radio angle, right? Like she's just going to have a few catchy bangers that really take off. Clearly, playlist core fits her well. Maybe so. But clearly, I'm pretty negative overall. I'd love to hear what other people think. People that are fans of hers, let me know. And for more music reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.